So your check engine light just popped on, and all of a sudden your car feels like it has no power. Well, you might be dealing with a P2101 error code, but don't panic. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what that code means, what's likely causing it, and, most importantly, how you might be able to fix it yourself right in your own driveway.
Does this look familiar? That dreaded check engine light is staring you in the face, and it feels like your car just gave up. You're pushing the gas pedal, but nothing's happening. It's a really stressful feeling, right? This is a safety feature called limp mode, and it's the #1 symptom of that P2101 code.
Okay, the official name, Throttle Actuator A, Control Motor Circuit Range/Performance, is a real mouthful. But you can just ignore all that jargon. Here's the simple version. Your car's brain, which is called the powertrain control module, has lost its ability to precisely control the throttle. That's the little flap that lets air into your engine. And when that communication line goes down, your car goes into protection mode and cuts the power.
First up, let's talk about the warning signs. Your car is definitely trying to tell you something's wrong, so let's go over the symptoms you're probably feeling right now.
You've definitely got the warning lights and that super frustrating limp mode. But you might also notice your engine is running really rough, maybe even stalling out. You could even be hearing some weird clicking or whirring sounds from under the hood. If any of this is ringing a bell, you are absolutely in the right place.
So how did we even get here? Well, to really get to the bottom of this problem, you first have to understand the system that's failing. So let's do a quick dive into how your car's throttle actually works these days.
You know, back in the day, it was so simple. There was a literal steel cable that connected your gas pedal to the engine. You push your foot down, the cable pulls, the engine gets more air. Easy. But now, pretty much every car uses what's called a drive-by-wire system. It's all electronic. It's way more efficient, but it also introduces a few new places where things can go wrong.
And here's that new electronic chain of command in action. You press the pedal, a sensor reads how far you pushed it, and sends an electronic signal. The car's computer, the PCM, gets that signal and thinks about it for a split second. Then, it tells a tiny little electric motor on the throttle body exactly how far to open that air flap. The P2101 code means there's a problem somewhere in that electronic conversation.
So where exactly is that breakdown happening? Well, in this next section, we're going to play detective and hunt down the most common culprits behind this code. All right, here are the usual suspects, and we'll start with the biggest one. By far, the #1 cause is the electronic throttle body itself. Usually, it's just really dirty, but sometimes the little motor inside can fail. After that, you've got things like wiring problems, a bad sensor, or very, very rarely, an issue with the car's main computer.
And let's just park on that #1 cause for a second, because this quote really nails it. Over thousands of miles, carbon and all sorts of gunk can build up right where that throttle plate needs to move. It gets so sticky that the little motor can't move it properly. The motor tries, it struggles, and the computer sees that struggle and throws up the P2101 error flag.
All right, now for the part you've been waiting for. Let's work through a step-by-step diagnostic checklist you can use to figure this out and, hopefully, get it fixed.
Here is your plan of attack, and we're going to start with the easiest stuff first. Step 1, and this is a big one. Always check for other codes. Another error might be the real problem, and we'll see why in a minute. Step 2, check the fuses. A simple blown fuse could be the culprit, and that's a 2-minute check. Step 3, just use your eyes. Look at the wires going to the throttle body. Is anything frayed, melted, or unplugged? Step 4, if everything else checks out, it's time to clean that throttle body. This is your most likely fix. And finally, step 5, after you've cleaned it, you'll do something called an idle relearn to get everything calibrated again.
Okay, before you grab a can of cleaner, listen up, because this is really important. You have to use a cleaner that is made specifically for throttle bodies. Other stuff, like carb cleaner, can damage the sensitive electronics inside. And whatever you do, do not, I repeat, do not force that little butterfly plate open with your fingers or a screwdriver. You can easily break the delicate plastic gears inside, and then you've just turned a simple cleaning job into a full-blown replacement.
So what in the world is this idle relearn thing? Well, think of it like this. You just cleaned away all that gunk, right? That means the throttle plate can now close just a tiny bit more than it could when it was dirty. The problem is your car's computer doesn't know that. It's still using the old dirty settings. The relearn procedure just resets the system and teaches the computer the new, clean, home position so your engine can idle perfectly again.
And this slide right here, this is exactly why step 1 of our plan was to check for other codes. See, a bad sensor on your gas pedal can cause the exact same symptoms. No power, limp mode, the whole shebang. but it'll usually throw its own specific error code. If you check for other codes first, you might save yourself from cleaning or replacing a throttle body that was perfectly fine to begin with.
Okay, so you've done the work, you've found the culprit, and you've made the repair. We're almost done, but there's one last crucial step to seal the deal.
Now for the moment of truth. Once your repair is done, whether you clean the throttle body or just plug the connector back in, you need to grab your scan tool one last time. Plug it in and clear the P2101 code from the computer's memory. Then, just start the car and take it for a spin to make sure that limp mode is gone for good.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? More often than not, this really scary sounding error code that completely disables your car is actually caused by something incredibly simple, a little bit of dirt. And that leaves us with one final thought. Could a simple 10-minute cleaning job with a $5 can of spray really save you from a trip to the mechanic and a repair bill that could easily be $300 or more? In a lot of cases, the answer is a definite yes.